Corners Podcast.
We back.
We're back.
And it's not Carter and it's not Mace, but welcome back.
It is what it is, but it is what it ain't. Oh, first of all,
get the reference?
Before we even talk, you saw that Adidas commercial about like Anthony Davis? Adidas commercial when he talked about like all his receipts and then he
body counts?
Yeah, no, all receipts as people who Anthony Edwards. You know Anthony Edwards?
I thought you said Anthony Davis.
Anthony Edwards. So like people complaining, you know, when people was hating on him in the beginning, and then he was like Cameron saying that he's a superstar, but not really he's an all-star, but not a superstar. Okay. So he had a receipt, but he got a little jab at Cameron. He's like, it is what it ain't. It is what it is. He was like, Cameron came back and like, I'll take it. But I guess the guy was talking, looked like almost like a little lesbian or something. Yeah. And he was like, get a better lesbian next time.
Yeah, you could do that. But Anthony Edwards is a superstar at this point. He's a superstar. He's a superstar.
This is the first 1 year of superstar. We've seen this before. Yeah,
and we'll see it again.
I gotta continuously see this.
We'll see it again, and that's the thing. Yeah. We saw it with Kobe. We saw it with Jordan.
But here's the thing: you cannot comparison. I hate when people put the superstars on anybody because a lot of people are superstars. Mm-hmm. Like you can't put the superstar tag on anybody. Mm-hmm. You gotta continuously have success to be a superstar. Okay. Kawhi is a superstar. Jason Tatum's a superstar. Is Jaylen Brown a superstar?
Jaylen Brown is on the cusp of crossing the borders of becoming a superstar.
But who is more, if you put Anthony Edwards as a superstar, Jaylen Brown. Is he better than Jaylen Brown?
He is better than Jaylen Brown, yes.
Jaylen Brown is more established.
So what?
More established. He's about to get his first championship if he wins this.
If he wins.
And he went to NBA Finals twice. Anthony Edwards haven't gone to anything.
This is his fourth year. Give him a little bit of time.
Doesn't matter.
Year. He's young.
Doesn't matter. Luka was a superstar in the first year. I think
he started playing baseball before he really got into basketball.
Luka was a superstar in first year.
Yeah, that's Luka. That's not everybody.
So why are we playing Anthony Edwards? He wasn't everybody either. He wasn't a number one pick.
He will be. So actually, we're gonna transition. So welcome to Fellas Corner Shorts. Yo, we're gonna dive into a good 15 minutes of the topic of the week. We would say domestic. Not that kind of domestic.
Domestic versus international. Not Kendrick Lamar domestic.
Not that type of domestic. Yeah. You got to jab with this dude. So we're going to start off by talking about NBA. We'll get into that right now. We'll dive in. So domestic athletes, or people that's you know, grown, established in the U.S., college in the U.S. versus these international players. So you mentioned Luka. The buzz going around right now is how good Luka's been playing in this and the Western Conference Finals.
But here's the thing. I'm going to cut you off. Probably about a year ago, I said he was the great white hype.
Luka over Jokic.
It was just
a lot of people saying he was a big.
No, before Jokic, it was him. Was a great white hype. I said a lot of people was trying to get him to be a superstar. Mm-hmm. Now, as I said before, in NBA domestically, we have a lot of great stars. But they've been pushing a lot of international stars like Luka, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid. Yeah. They've been pushing a lot of international stars. Mm-hmm. So how many American stars they really have? Besides LeBron,
there's been a lot. They're diving down. Like you mentioned, like Kawhi Leonard. At one point, he was considered, if not one, number two, right? Yeah. And the other one could have been LeBron or could have been KD. He was in that mix. He went internationally too, in a sense. Not necessarily still North America and Toronto and Canada. But at the same time, he was at that level. Now he started to dip, right?
I don't know if he started. I still think he's top 5 right now.
Kawhi?
50, 40, 90.
Are you serious?
50, 40,
really
90.
Get into this, man?
50, 40, 90. If it was for injuries, 50, 40, 90.
That's the point. You said if it wasn't for injuries, injuries is a part
50,
of it.
40, 90.
The best ability is 50, availability. We all know this.
But
he wasn't available when we needed him.
I can stop the whole thing because he's second team All NBA. He automatically top 10.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Second team All NBA. That's what we're talking about. Whatever happened to first team? Isn't that the goal?
So that's first team is top.
That's how you get the max contract when you're first team, not second team.
First team is top 5. Second team is top 10.
That's fine. You just said he's top 5.
I still think he's top 5. But I can tell you this right now: Jason Tatum domestically, if Jason Tatum win this championship, he automatically push over the top 5, which he started first team. Sure. But if I guarantee you, if he doesn't win this championship this time around, they will push him out of the top 5.
Where is the NBA going in terms of superstars?
Internationally.
It's internationally?
Internationally. It's going to be, if Luka win his championship right now, they're going to put Jokic, Luka, they're going to put Giannis, because Giannis already rated as top 1.
Sure.
Jokic, Luka, Giannis.
Wemby?
Embiid. Wemby is not going to be top 5. He's not top 5 right now. Okay. But he's not top 5. He's he's Embiid, and then you start seeing the Americans start going there. They start putting like Anthony Davis in that mix. He probably put Anthony Edwards in that mix. Jason Tatum's still going to be in that mix. Sure. They're going to start putting this. They're going to put obviously Kawhi probably number 10 out of all of them as well at the moment. But even if he plays, no matter how you put it, he's still top 5.
If he plays,
it doesn't matter about playing, because if you really argue about playing at the same time, they was all injured too. Now, if you want to be Giannis was injured. Was Giannis injured or not? And he's number one.
Yeah, he wasn't the Giannis that we're accustomed
to. Was Embiid injured or not?
Yeah, he was very injured.
So he's still top 5,
of course.
So the playing problem,
the difference is Embiid is the reigning, until eventually Joe Chicken won it this year, the MVP. Kawhi, we haven't seen that Kawhi that we like, the San Antonio Kawhi, the Toronto Kawhi, in about 6 years. We haven't seen that.
But what's the big difference between both of them? With Embiid and Giannis, who got more championships?
Well, Giannis, obviously, he got 1.
How much Kawhi got?
He got 3?
2.
You got 1 with San Antonio, and then he got the 1 with Toronto.
Yeah, so no matter where you put it, we can argue.
In the Finals MVP.
We could argue all that all we want, but he got more championships. But that's besides the point. Domestically, NBA is pushing for a more international group. No matter how we put it, now the number one seed is supposedly going to be another Frenchman. Really? Just like Wemby.
It's funny because I'm looking at like the college players that's out there. Nobody stands out. Like there's not like a one key player that we can be like, yo, this is the dude.
Another Frenchman going on.
The last player out of the U.S., out of Duke, was obviously Paolo Banchero from the Magic. Yeah, he was number 1. He's showing good moves. You know, he's doing what he's doing.
Even with the guy from Purdue,
Wembley, you're going on foreigners.
Even if you guy from Purdue, he's not American technically. If you think about it, but it's all international.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, if we want to get into more international versus domestic, you notice how NFL is doing? They're trying to get to that international level.
Let's move on. Let's talk about NFL.
Yeah, trying to do the international level by getting a lot of things in Mexico, Germany.
Yeah. You feeling that? Happening. You feeling that?
It's not because they don't know the sport.
But I'm saying, do you like that? Like, do you like these 8 a.m., 9 a.m. games when they're playing in Germany, but they're playing out in England? You know what I mean? Like same place where they play the soccer team. And they're coming to Brazil.
Here's the thing: the
Green Bay and Philly, they're playing in Brazil next February.
The biggest difference between NBA and NFL. The biggest difference between NBA and NFL is easier to pick up NBA.
Not February, but they're playing.
But it's easier to pick up NBA compared to NFL. That's why it's so big internationally. Now, NFL is not big internationally. They're big domestically. Number one out of all sports. Of course, but NBA is number 1 internationally.
Do you think it's the sports appeal that they like from NBA, or the fact that it's quicker, it's right to the point, and it resembles a little bit of football, soccer, international football, soccer.
Quicker. It's more easy to understand, and NFL is just...
I think it's the appeal. I think what it is the fact that you have faces. You can see the superstars.
Sure, it could be that too.
You know what I mean? Like when I don't know if you remember, 4 years ago, we had, maybe 5 years ago, there was a little bit of issue with Lonzo Ball's brother. I don't even know his name. Not LaMelo. That was LaMelo. The other one. The one that went to was it UCLA,
LaMelo.
I think? Was it LaMelo? Was it LaMelo?
No.
The non-talented.
Yeah, not LaMelo.
That is
Lonzo, LaMelo, and is it
LiAngelo
Ball? Yeah.
LiAngelo. So dude goes, I think, to China, shoplifts. Your big international thing going on, right? You know what I'm saying? Even Trump got involved. Trying to pardon him or whatever the situation was, because NBA was that popular. They were like, yo, Lonzo or the Ball family, we know who he is, and that's what's going on. So I think it's probably more of the appeal of the fact that you can see their faces as opposed to maybe the actual game.
No, it's because it's marketable. It's marketable. NFL, first of all, if you really think about it, back in the day, probably like 20 years ago, when Warren Sapp took off his helmet, one of the big things that no one ever seen, like no one knew who Jared Weiss looked like until recently. Like
shout out to Warren Sapp, University of Miami.
Because NFL,
Go Hurricanes.
You cannot see. If you really think about it, the most popular people in the NFL is quarterbacks. No matter what, I did not know how Jared Weiss looked until probably like his 8th or 10th season.
Probably.
Because they always have a helmet on.
All I remember Drew Bledsoe, I remember Dan Marino, the best QB
quarterbacks, NBA, you see their faces. Yeah. That's why Michael Jordan's so big. You see their faces. You see Hakeem Olajuwon faces. You see Charles Barkley face. I am not a role model.
I'm not a role model. You've seen them right in there.
You see their faces. Yeah. You see Patrick Ewing faces. You see all their faces. You see Larry Bird.
You see Kobe.
You can see their faces. They're marketable.
That's right.
But as I said before, NBA is great internationally. NFL is trying to be international, but just not. They're more domestic. And unfortunately, when you get to domestic versus international, it trickles down everywhere. Because and the really good question you have is it really a problem with international versus domestic? Because you could see it even in music, you can see it in hip hop.
That's right.
You can see it in sports. You can see it in culture.
Culture, absolutely.
International versus domestic. Like every time you have an argument,
I feel, not to cut you. I mean, you can just continue with that thought. I even think like people that live in foreign countries, I don't know if they're necessarily vacationing in the U.S. like we be vacationing out into their town.
That's the thing.
I don't know if that's. I mean,
I don't think so. I'll be honest with you. I think anyone who is international, they don't. Why would they go to America to vacation?
That's what I'm saying.
Are they going to Florida to see Disney World?
That probably would be the number one attraction because Disney World.
But I can tell you this right now.
And maybe Hawaii. If you take that out of the equation, then.
Everyone, the number one tourist spot is what? Jamaica, was it like
the
Dominican Republic, and then
but that's
Belize, things like that.
Yeah.
What's the number one? But Florida's gonna probably gotta be number 10.
Hawaii's up there. Hawaii's definitely up there. I think it is.
Yeah. It's very expensive.
Well, I mean, people go to Disney World. That's very expensive.
Yeah,
that's that's like 5 years plus of saving. If
I feel like the only time an international person go to the USA if they get cheaper clothes. Because I know it's expensive. Because import taxes and things like that. It's just cheaper clothes. That's it.
I got you.
That's all it is. So, international versus domestic.
Businesses.
So, at the end of the day, everybody wants to be in the international spotlight.
All right.
Now, America's still the number one country in all the world, but they still want to be in the international
But they want to
spotlight.
expand. And
exactly.
Who do you think is doing a better job of expanding? Do you think it's NBA or do you think it's NFL?
NFL.
Because NFL's getting out there. Right now, they're going to Brazil like I mentioned.
Are they getting out there or are they paying people to go there?
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying
are they getting out there though?
But here's the thing with the NBA, like throughout the regular season, maybe it's not as easy to put together. But we're not looking at a game in December of Lakers versus Celtics in Colombia. You know what I'm saying? We're not seeing that. Or in France, we're not seeing that.
You know why I know that?
Doing that.
You know why I know that NBA is doing much better? Because they already have leagues in NBA. You already have Euro leagues. They have China leagues. And do you have any besides NFL, the Shield? Do they have any NFL?
Nah, and I think they shut down the league that they did have.
They don't have no league. They have a Canada league. That's about it.
Yeah, Canadian.
But Arena League, but they do not have any type of league. They have a Chinese league. And let's say NBA players want to leave, they go to China, they go to Europe, but they don't have any other leagues. Matter of fact, we like to draft people from other leagues, European leagues. That's how we got Luka. That's how we got Jokic. That's how we got Wemby. They got a lot of leagues. NFL don't have leagues elsewhere.
Yeah.
So
it's funny because the first one was Yao Ming.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that he was the best at the time, but he'd probably fall into...
the reason why
Yao Ming would be probably number 6 or 5 in the top 5, 10 foreign international players.
But here's the thing: the reason why they got Yao Ming is because they wanted a relationship with China.
They did. The $1 billion, population, of course.
Why you think when LeBron James decided to, he didn't want to kind of do any conversation with the China situation?
You had that conflict going on. Adam Silver jumps in.
Exactly, because they do not want to mess with that international affairs.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't mess with the paper that the NBA is bringing in. You can't do it.
Exactly. And then now if you think about it, we go into music. International.
Go into music.
Yeah, international versus domestic. There's a reason why no one likes Drake. Because
no one likes Drake domestically or internationally? What are you trying to tell me? Okay, I know that. But internationally, they love him.
Oh, they still love him.
Okay.
Domestic. You know why they don't like Drake? Because it's a Canada kid that come to America and took the culture away from them.
All right, D.
So think about it. It's a Canada kid that comes to America. Like, think about a kid, a Jewish, half black, half Jewish Canada kid. Coming to America, taking away their culture.
Because we don't get our Eminem about his rap style, the way he raps, and he's a great artist because he's a born and bred. He's a product of the country.
He's a product of Detroit.
Exactly. But you look at Drake, you be like, dude's a thing. He has followers. People love him, but he ain't getting the respect because he's
what they call him, a culture vulture.
Yeah,
that's what he said. Even though his dad is from Tennessee,
like us.
He's not like us. Exactly. You see how it works? Domestically versus internationally. They don't want any international to kind of mess with our culture. That's why Kendrick said, this is for the culture. Don't know what culture it is, because at the end of the day, if you really want to dig deeper, there's no culture in hip-hop. Because you got the BC Boys, you got everybody in there. So there's no culture in hip-hop.
I hate to throw it out there, whoever's like old enough to remember this, You can throw it out there. You can be like, we had a Vanilla Ice in the hip hop game.
We had a Vanilla Ice who made a lot of money off of one song.
We had a Snow. Remember Snow?
Yeah.
Yo, we had them.
Beastie Boys.
We had Beastie Boys.
What culture are we
talking about?
Yeah,
yo, you put good music, people will follow.
Matter of fact,
the problem is that Drake puts good music, people follow, but they do it sneakily.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just all hate at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, domestically hates on international no matter what.
Do we hate on international artists like Burner and any of these other artists out there?
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
That's the culture. Hating.
Okay.
Because there's no other culture. Pop doesn't hate on other people. You think people will hate on Taylor Swift? You think of Mandy Moore hate on Taylor Swift? Do you think Katy Perry hate on Taylor Swift?
Lady Gaga, yo, she been for like 15 years. Yeah, I don't even know the music, but people just be blasting it here.
If they hate, they don't say nothing.
Yeah.
They don't say like country. Yeah. Like look at that. Like now that people are going straight to country, now they got new black artists going to country. Yeah. Even though black country was black in the beginning. Yeah. You see, are they really hating? White folks are hating because we're taking that rain, but are they really hating on whoever? But at the end of the day, hip hop don't like international kids going in. Like Drake is only international. Who's else international in hip hop that really take it over? Like we can say 21 Savage because he's from UK, but he's really from Atlanta at the end of the day.
Yeah, he represents
But he's born in UK, so he's technically international. Burna Boy, they probably hating on that. But at the end of
what do you think about Joyner Lucas? I mean, he's getting a lot of like,
pays attention. He ain't getting no. Joyner Lucas is only two. One question I had to ask for you.
Yeah.
Besides Drake and Kendrick, who else is gonna take over hip hop?
I mean, Little Dirk.
Really? Little Dirk? Out of all of them? There's no one taking over hip hop. They try to say Travis Scott.
Little Baby would.
Nah, definitely ain't. His time is gone. He has a following. Travis Scott's probably the closest one.
Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Travis Scott.
That's it. He's the closest one. But again, as I said before, domestically,
I'm not saying he's doing anything at all, but like Eminem is trying to make a little noise. You heard Houdini?
Yeah, it's trash.
It's not bad. It's not trash.
Sounds Eminem-y.
It is. But that's the point. That's what really got him, like the followers, right?
Yeah,
it was like that, like chaotic, joyful music where like
Eminem
some
times past. We all know it.
Like crazy twisted mind appeal.
He's one of the most successful artists in the world, but his time's passed.
I agree. I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm just asking, what do you think?
Domestically, we're having struggles with now. There's no culture. We got a kid, light-skinned Canada kid who's taking over.
Oh, he already took over.
He always took over. Now, his armor probably a little bit dink, but I can guarantee you, I don't think Kendrick Lamar is going to do anything.
The funny thing about it, like, as I'm thinking about hip-hop artists, I'm thinking, like, our females is really the ones that's really putting noise and making noise. Sexy Red?
Are they though?
Yo, I'm hearing good music. I'm seeing things.
Sexy Red's good music?
I like it. I'm with it.
I don't know about
Sexy Red, yeah.
Glorilla?
Glorilla?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
I can tell you this.
Cardi B,
mark
she's
my
still
word,
there.
every woman hip-hop is trash. Point blank.
You didn't say that.
I said that.
Glorilla,
Lotto,
Cardi
B, Megan. Yes, Nicki Minaj is the only exception to me.
Okay.
All of them are trash. They ain't making nothing.
In the history of women hip-hop artists, who's your favorite? Is it Lil' Kim?
I like Nicki Minaj. I'm talking about right now, it's trash.
Now. But
old school ones much better than new school ones.
Okay.
Trash. There's nobody. It's only two people in hip hop really is good, and even Kendrick, he's good, but he takes too long to get.
Yeah.
It's really Drake
to put like some commercial music, stuff that you're gonna like blast, like you said, you're gonna bump up.
It's Drake because he's the only one that's consistent.
Yeah.
Kendrick's not consistent.
There you go. So, Fellas Corner Shorts. Yo, we dived in. Domestic versus international. You be the judge. Same time next time. Same channel.
I didn't know we had a channel, but call it a day.
Yeah, we'll get a channel.
Right?
We'll get a channel.
Later.
I like it.
Look at little girl.